is 1. Ugh, we'll do it live. Good evening.
It's beginning to look a lot like fishermen. Everywhere I go, from the minute I got to town and started to look around, I thought these ill-bred people's gill slits showed. I'm beginning to hear a lot of fishmen right outside my door. As I try to escape in fright to the moonlit inns of night, I can hear some more. They speak with guttural croaks, and to hear them provokes a profound desire to flee. Their eyes never blink, and quite frankly they stink like a carcass washed up from the sea. I wish I'd paid attention to that crazy drunken man. He tried to warn me all about old Marsh's Deep One clan. It's beginning to look a lot like fishmen. Everywhere I go, they can dynamite Devil Reef, but that'll bring no relief. Johanna Flay is deeper than they know. I'll continue to see a lot of fishmen, that I guarantee. For the fishman I really fear is the one who's in the mirror, and he looks like me. He looks just like me.
How are we doing, everybody? How are we doing?
What the hell do you think you're doing? Dragging your butt through the day, selling body and soul to a bunch of bland normals? Acting stupid so they'll think you're one of them? Tired of getting all of the guilt, but none of the sex? There is a simple answer, dear friend. A glowing beacon of slack amidst the turmoil and darkness. It's J.R. Bob Dobbs, the living slack master and his church of the subgenius. Bob brings a new destiny for the abnormal. Bob comes to justify our sins, to unmask the conspiracy, and to get us back the slack they stole away. It's us versus them. Are you going to fry in hell on earth alongside the pink boys? Or will you pull the wool over your own eyes and accept Bob into your mind? Repent, quit your job, slack off, and praise Bob!
Church of the Subgenius, eternal salvation will triple your money back.
Do you want your phone to be like this? Download this app for free, and you won't need a TV.
Arise!
What the hell do you think you're doing? But none of the sex? Or will you put
The Subgenius, eternal salvation will triple your money back.
I love my little stream playlist I have when I do
Praise
vids.
Bob. The fates have brought you into possession of a Subgenius instructional video barrage tape. Prepare yourself. You are about to be remade into a new being through forbidden knowledge previously kept secret for centuries by the jealous priesthoods of many religions. Caution. Improper viewing techniques may lead in some persons to dependency, seizures, cranial fits, priapic conditions, micturition, sternutation, subtle glandular mutations, and in some some territories, legal arrest. However, if the viewer follows instructions and trusts completely in Bob, this tape can produce an unsurpassable beatific experience that can last for hours, days, weeks, possibly even centuries. This videotape bears a patented Dobstrom PowerShell time code, which may cause some home video decks to react unpredictably. Although only a small percentage of playback systems or their owners have suffered permanent damage from this signal, the Subgenius Foundation Incorporated is not responsible for injuries or damages inflicted by paranormal events during tape play mode. The tape also contains a subliminal hypnopediatrics trance-inducement tone, operating beyond the range of human perception. However, pets of the viewer may exhibit unusual behaviors, small children and certain less evolved adults. If such behavior anomalies last more than 2 days after viewing, consult a physician. However, this brainwave enfolding signal is generally harmless and should actually enhance your learning abilities during the program. Special interactive holosonic stereo effects produced on the Ultomate Cerebral Sync Lock Interocitor are designed to trigger stem cleavage or brain division between the forebrain and hindbrain. Using newly discovered break-thinking principles, the viewer's brainwaves are locked into synchronization with the tape's underlying suggestions by means of neuroelectric.
Someday we'll get to a point.
Plant gas mileage of nearby automobiles may be affected. For the unworthy, this tape may be a one-way ticket down a bottomless mental pit from which there can be no escape. In unreceptive viewers, there is a danger of synaptic backfire in the brain pan, caused by overheating of the attention gland. This dense packing of brain cells without proper organic coolants, such as froth, has been blamed for 3 recent cases of spontaneous human combustion. Do not over-medicate. Eye dosages have so sensitized the third nostril receptors of some viewers that they were unable to stop seeing the tape even after it had been turned off. This tape is to be used only by the person.
Internet cut out.
You have the power. The power to turn back on. What are we doing? Up.
Have so sensitized the third nostril receptors of some viewers that they were unable to stop seeing the tape even after it had been turned off. This tape is to be used only by the person to whom it is prescribed. Do not operate a motor vehicle following viewing. Do not operate heavy farm machinery at speeds over 70 miles an hour. The demons you may see during the initial hallucination sequence are not real. If you do not panic, this phase will end after a few minutes. Always resurface from the hypnosis slowly. Coming out of the tape has been likened to a total rebirth process, if managed successfully. If you have trouble re-entering the Earth plane, focus on Bob and chant his name until you remember your home.
Bob!
Justin, we're having operating difficulties, which has necessitated a delay.
Do not attempt to flip the tape when you reach the end of side 1. No matter what you are told by later instructions on the tape, there is no side 2. However, if you do discover one, don't look at it. If you follow these instructions, you will experience a profound cathartic reaction to the flow of archetypal images and racial memories. You may find yourself laughing and crying convulsively, and even astrally projecting. These reactions are normal. Enjoy them.
Welcome to week 1 of the NFL preseason. With the winners of today, about to become the stars of tomorrow.
Correct you with a you like just the story. Best shit post ever.
Tonight we've got a preseason matchup.
Subgenius 16.
And the Houston Oilers.
Like my friend sang the word of Bob.
Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and we finally made it with
Original
our
music
winner through the
by
spring and the summer of football finally back.
Directed and edited the spirit of direction.
Vacation time?
It's gone.
But admit it, you're the same as me. When you were working out, when you were
Alarmed
doing
Santa
things,
Fe parents met again with elementary school officials last night to discuss the growing presence of Bob in the schools. Bob, the deity of the Dallas-based Church of the Subgenius, is a comic book character who communicates with aliens and worships money. Parents and teachers complain that the Bob stickers and pamphlets, which have turned up in school laboratories with increasing frequency, encourage troublemakers and weird behavior.
It's not healthy for the children. I'm convinced of this. There has been a pamphlet going around, a Bob pamphlet that I have looked at, and it's the least well-adjusted children in the government. It tells them that if they are uncomfortable with their classmates, it is because they are better than their classmates. You imagine this? Better. Not smarter, mind you, but better.
Rise up! They're out to get you.
By a global conspiracy.
We're gonna rise and find out who they are and how to smash them.
You probably already knew that the U.S. government is a sham, something propped up there for you to blame. But did you know that the real powers that be are not even people? That they are actually shambling, unbelievable, unmentionable, unthinkable things? Yes,
An alien and still friends. Defy the sinister star forces which mock us all. Evil demons have kept the truth from humanity for thousands of years. God has been misquoted all this time. Actual words may disturb you, but Bob Dobbs is a bulwark against the unbearable fear and anxiety tormenting mankind.
Repent. Quit your job. Slack off.
True. God bless the slackers. God bless the slackers. They figured it out.
For a 6 million year cycle.
The rest of them are just degenerates, just like the hippies.
Shifts the world entering a new aeon, which, in a few years, will bring more wondrous and miraculous change and carnage, insanity, and destruction than all of mankind's history and prehistory before it. It's a new destiny for America. A time of cataclysmic economic change that will offer untold riches and power to those
The end is nigh, lads. The end is nigh.
some deserving conspiracy dupes thrive in hell on earth. Uncontrolled thinking, controlled by Bob, will usher in a spiritual rebirth and a cascade of astounding mystery.
Okay, pause it. Before we go any further, tie game. There are some people who take this shit seriously. Those people are fucking insane. First and foremost, those people are actually insane. You know, like the biggest, I guess, thing to come out of this would be Planet X. There are some people who actually believe that shit. And while there is like, you know, there's talk of there's several Planet X, Y, Z, etc. But like, there are people who took that bait seriously. These guys, they were trolling Texas like never before.
Riches,
just like we're doing in PA. The church has moved to PA.
The lives of those who dare to seek them and pay for it. That's right. You're the luck if you
Here's more money, Bob. Now, the step-by-step process is revealed.
The step-by-step process is revealed.
Thrill, success in sex. This is
Bob is a way of life to millions. To meal.
And half of them don't even know.
slack master with the spiritual know-how to help you bash through the locked doorway to financial heaven. He is the one real shortcut to slack.
These guys were literally just like, have fun, develop a skill, and parents in Texas were like,
You fear the stark fist of removal no longer.
I've been
Become
staying the
physically
same.
attractive overnight. Attain status, what? Prosperity by blowing.
God, this hour of Slack episode was insane. I'm sorry.
Bob's product is to widen the scope and nature of abnormal behavior to explore new ways of going over the edge.
All this shit was just like an hour of Slack episode.
Right back. Plus,
That's my
dynamics of abnormality.
you see the radio guys where you still podcasts
And channel them into an illusion of
see a lot of guys where just do like local like
get used to that.
fun some videos. But Spear's not that
It's a 41-yard punt, but just a net of 31 following the run back.
Welcome to Babylon, children. It's great to be here in the belly of the beast tonight. Before we get started with our second LAD Bible, we could all please bow our heads and have a moment of sacred, traditional noise.
Little realized, even by leading scientists, there are really two races, actually two distinct species of so-called human being. If you gaze upon any given street, normally you might never suspect that only some of these people are true humans. Outside appearances offer no clue that among this ordinary-looking crowd, on an ordinary day, a certain number of these people are actually sub-geniuses. We would have to creep inside their heads to know whether this person or that carries the rare sub-genius gene. But once inside those heads, we would discover a vast new universe, a new dimension, coexisting.
The best joke about the religion is literally anybody can do
the world of the common human. Another world that until now has been forced into hiding. Now at this very moment, the veils of secrecy can be torn aside. We, the persecuted, may now dare to raise our heads high and declare, "Behold us, for we are the sub-geniuses." But what is the sub-genius? How can we, differ so much from the humans, whose nonsensical laws and customs we have been forced to obey? Why have so many of us been kept in ignorance of our true heritage, a heritage that dates back farther than man is thought to have existed? For in the days of Atlantis, we helped to design the humans. Certainly, in retrospect, this now seems to have been our greatest mistake. So, what is the difference? Examine this seemingly docile crowd and know that in some few, simmering beneath a placid surface, there broils a veritable cauldron of repressed subgenius awareness, ready at any moment to explode outward, often with just
Wikipedia page is very fast. Stickers from the team were showing up in really strange places like inside pencil sharpeners and so on. In some classes, we don't even know who the subgenius is.
What is all this I hear about
The
this cult, this
youth cult?
I don't know. So how about you, son? What?
It's the best bit ever. This whole thing just be a bit.
It's about Bob, you know. It's Bob. That's it.
That's it.
Bob is great.
But just who is this man, Bob? Some call him the Slackmaster, the High Epoch, the Saint of Sales. Others call him Liar, Imp, Whoremonger, a sleazy con man, foisting his dangerous scam off on gullible suckers. Well, dear friend, J.R. Bob Dobbs isn't some outmoded, overused deity from ancient fairy tales, but a living, bleeding deity for today, the divinely appointed messenger of slack, the mystic super salesman upon whose wheeling and dealing killed the fate of the universe, Nugent.
He can sell you anything, and I bought it. And I tell you what, that flower pie that mounted shit from Bob. Bob's wonderful. I mean, Bob's, you know, I got it.
Bob is fill in the blank. Bob is fill in the blank. Bob, it can't be described as not the true Bob. He's a trickster. Obviously, look at his face, and you can just see, you know, what's behind that smile. You know, what's in the pipe that he's smoking, and what is this game that Bob Dobbs represents. The story of J.R. Bob Dobbs. Walk in the
A lot of this audio is going to be really bad, so...
He finds his man complete. It's Phillips. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him another 7 downs. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they've been back on the heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion.
Somewhere in the Midwest, the child Bob experienced a traumatic close encounter with a UFO at the age of 3.
Damn it.
Soon thereafter, he began to exhibit strange powers of persuasion. By age 6, he had made his first million, almost by accident. In college, he met and married his first and still his primary wife, Connie, who is now revered by female subgenii as the blessed anti-virgin. With Connie's encouragement, the young Dobbs became a salesman of legendary, almost frightening abilities, known to his peers as the man who could sell anything. He worked his way up to the very top of the conspiracy ladder and might have stayed there. But late one night in 1953, while working on an amateur television of his own design, an event occurred which was to become a milestone on man's mind path to slack. He was suddenly seized up in the spirit by the hand of Jehovah One itself, the cosmic puppeteer of the Old Testament. The wrathful alien space god from some corporate spin galaxy. In this timeless moment, which we call the divine immaculation of the Bob, Dobbs received the first of countless brain-curdling pronouncements which form the sacred pre-scriptures of the church. He was shown a vision, a world where all humanity was equally wealthy, rich beyond imagining, but without working. This experience, combined with his UFO-given sales magic, led him inevitably into the religion field. He quickly discovered the golden rule embodied in his classic saying,
Live streaming on YouTube is fun because they have videos on my channel, you know? I already have, like...
The true subgenius can learn to think for himself, but only Bob can show him. And so, Bob Dobbs founded his church upon a sandy beach of common sense, sense of humor, and dollars and cents. A likely story, you say. But it's simple, really. Bob is lucky, not smart. In fact, by the perverted conspiracy standards of intelligence, he is gifted with incredible stupidity. He lives in a perpetual state of contracted consciencelessness. This enables him to act without thinking, to surf effortlessly on the luck plane, to float down the fabled path of least resistance. In fact, to make $1 million every time he screws up. Thus, it is not his wisdom, but his divine follies, his holy blunders, which we emulate. The miracle is not in what Bob does to you.
Yes, it's just the preseason.
Internet.
Football is back in your living room.
It's just
And
the
I'm
preseason.
excited. I know you are as well. The summer heat feels good on these old bones, especially because we're not putting on pads. We don't have to be out there in that heat running in.
It is not, but in what he allows you to do to yourself. He brings the
Goddamn internet, where are we going? Come on, Spectrum.
to the realization that everything you know is true. Under the conspiracy, you're being ripped off every day, but you can learn to enjoy it.
Whatever these guys are doing, just telling you, hey, you can enjoy life in this dystopia. Some people take the shit seriously, some people still do.
He called his seminars instant instruction for those who follow no master. He journeyed to Tibet, and under ancient holy men he perfected the arts of landscaping and ecu beating. He also began modeling for hundreds of magazine ads, leaving early clues of his presence. These old ads are the only known photos of Dobbs, for he otherwise remains elusive, earning both the spotlight and the authorities. In 1979, he recruited two randomly selected nobodies, Dr. Philo Drummond and Ivan Stang, to begin a public outreach arm and begin spreading his seed word of slang.
The church is so
to me, lads, I tell you.
pervasive and so full that we couldn't possibly get into the dogma in any less than 3 or 4 hours. This will outline everything. Detail, easy to read, keep it near you, and we promise that any answers that you need will be found in this little handy little pamphlet right here.
$1 for salvation. $1. Let's look at the word sub-genius. It does not simply mean
what you do with it. Inventing one good joke is worth 1,000 scientists making A-bombs.
The sub-genius does not pretend to super-knowledge, but to sub-knowledge, knowledge of the under-things, the hollow earth from whose darkness issue the Nazi hell creatures and other demons of the abyss. It is in contemplation of the under-things, the underwear lurking just below the clothing of existence that the sub-genii display what genius they have. The study of this substratum, the foundation garment underlying reality, is the sub-genius's strength, for it is from this source that he or she taps the infinite resources of a force